As you can hear, everybody is very upset with me. If you've ever been hoping that there would be an eastern gray tree frog documentary about their conservation, well, today I have that episode for you. We're going to talk about all things eastern gray tree frogs in the Frog Week Conservation Project. But first, we have to say goodbye to our dear friends, the American toads, who were the spotlight and the highlight of the last episode of Frog Week. Of course, it pains me to say goodbye to these guys because of how much they mean to me. But I also know for the greater good, we have to make sure that we're conserving all of the target species. So while I'll still continue to be keeping tabs on these guys, we're going to have to move forward and make sure we take the trip out here to a newly deforested location where these eastern gray tree frogs have been living and where they were discovered. The landscape looks significantly different compared to the last 2 years, and no, it's not just because we're using a UAV and we're very high up looking at it from an aerial perspective. This deforestation took place just this year, and it's a true concern because for a tree frog, if you cut down the trees, where's the habitat? Where are they actually going to live? And so we needed to make sure that the eastern gray tree frogs, for one, still existed in this county, for two, still existed in this population, and for three, how is the population out here doing? With all of this deforestation, all of the tree removal, and of course, as you can see, all of the dirt bikes and four-wheelers riding through the vernal pools, how were the eastern gray tree frogs going to maintain their abundance out here? How were they going to survive? This was also the first episode that I could ever showcase a wild gray tree frog hunt, and I can't wait to show you this. You guys are gonna get to see a behind the scenes version of how I find them, how I pinpoint them. Alright, so the neighbor is at church. She will not be joining us. We're gonna take this trail. It's kind of neat that it's light out so you guys can see all this. Usually it's so dark, that's why I don't. But in our region of the Laurel Highlands, even though this is directly off the Laurel Highlands, these frogs are unique because they only come out at a certain time. And if you miss that window, it's only a couple hours a night. If you miss that window, they usually stop calling. At least that's what I've seen. So we're here for the window. Let's see if anybody's here. No, that's good. I have not checked the vernal pools out in different locations where we found them last year. This was actually a location where I found gray tree frogs 2 years ago. They are not here anymore though. That's good though, because that all washes away. That's not a good spot for them. I think these guys are the smartest group of tree frogs that I've seen out here. But, alright, let's begin this process. Gotta shut the light off because they'll stop calling when they see it. That's a neat shot, actually. You wouldn't think it would be so difficult to get shots up close of a spring peeper like this, but this year, for whatever reason, they were very elusive and they were always dodging my camera. However, during this eastern gray tree frog hunt, I was able to see a bunch of spring peepers hanging out in plain sight, so I had to take advantage of this. But my curiosity and my commitment to film a spring peeper also led me to find the first eastern gray tree frogs of the year. I was super excited and I couldn't believe how lucky I was to find a chorus frog and a tree frog calling. Take a look at the center of this tree. This was the very first eastern gray tree frog I had the privilege of seeing this year. Look how impressive that frog is up there. It took everything just to be able to film him because he was so high up in the tree and there was no way I was getting to him. Despite all of the struggling, searching around, looking up in the trees about 30 to 50 feet up, all I had to do was get very lucky and see a very unique looking piece of lichen that actually wasn't lichen. It was this eastern gray tree frog, and he was tormenting me for so long. He's actually a little distance away. Can you see? We're got a red light. See if we can find him. The red light's not a major problem for their eyes. He's still responding. He's down here. He's pretty close. See, this is what makes it so hard to find these frogs. because, you know, here comes Mr. Biker. Just when I start to get a lead. Oh, that might have been what I needed. It might be this tree. I don't have much of an option. Could be why I got quiet. I think I found it. I'm starting to get call back from the other ones. I'm pretty sure I found him. He's in here somewhere. He's gotta be down here. There he is. Look at that. There it is, guys. Yes. On the GoPro. On the freaking money, baby. There it is. Got him. Make sure you're okay, pal. Come here, buddy. Make sure you're okay. You okay? Here we are, guys. Second day of searching for the eastern gray tree frog, and guess what? Here he is. I think he needs washed off though. So this is not, I do not recommend doing this. Oh, at least I'm getting Y on the GoPro. I think he's oozing pee to make sure he's okay. Just hold on. Just gotta make sure you're okay, buddy. Just gotta give you some water because you're... Here we go, another one, guys. Played probably a 1 hour to a 30-minute waiting game for him. Super thankful that I got him, but look at that, is a stream, well, a vernal pool bank, and this guy has to be careful because in this water is a very large snapping turtle that will take him as a meal. So will ducks. And when that duck landed, he was nowhere to be found. Could not hear him. We'll put him back though.
I lost it on the way up. Too scared to fall to try and come down. Calling out your name as I turn out. Anything to name.
Just wanted to take a quick field video while I'm out here. You know, that was one of 2 or 3 gray tree frogs that was calling tonight in this location. The only known location where these frogs are. And what an incredible opportunity. I'm really hoping the GoPro showcased the moment that I found that calling gray tree frog. That was such a thrill, you know, just being able to track one of those animals, because, you know, I've had so many instances coming up empty-handed. I've also had success. So being on, you know, one side of it so far for the year, it's a good feeling. Again, I knew that some of them were down there, but temperature, time of day, all kinds of variables could have affected that. So the fact that I came out again and heard significantly fewer gray tree frogs tonight and still found one is amazing. An amazing feeling. As soon as I got back on the trail, which is about a mile to the car, I started to see American toads and eastern gray tree frogs calling on the path where all of the machines were doing the deforestation. I knew if I left these animals here, I'd never see them again. They'd easily be destroyed by the machines. My face here because I don't think you'd be able to see it, but what I discovered is there's a bunch of American toads and American toads and gray tree frogs calling right in a spot where they're doing construction, they're doing timber harvesting. So, but I'm using directions to get around here because I'm not from the area and it's not common for me. But what I will say is I have to do a really odd version of a road rescue to try and help save these guys, because if I don't, I'm afraid that they'll get smushed or squished, whatever you want to call it. So it's just concerning. Alright, as you can hear, everybody is very upset with me. So, look at this, guys. There's 2 toads, 3 toads, 4 toads, 5 toads, 6 toads, 7 and 8 toads, 9 toads, 10 toads, 11 toads, 13 toads, 14 toads, and 4 eastern gray tree frogs. Look at that. Look at all these guys. Look at that. He's on my boot. Hold on there. Oh. I'll get you guys here in a second. I'm just very careful where I step. Bringing this many toads here. And the reason why is because their home is being destroyed. So we went roughly a football field away, and you can't even see, but I brought them down here. Everybody's safe. I brought them in a vernal pool where there are toads calling, so there will already be competition, and these guys might have actually been down here at some point in their lives because it's not that far away. But I just wanted to show you guys with how many toads there are right here. You know, these are the guys who are lucky that will be saved, because there's big machines that are going to go through tomorrow probably and destroy where they were. And if they're hiding in the wrong spot, you know, they're only going to hurt themselves. They're only going to die because of it. So instead of an incidental death, you know, I felt, why not prevent it and allow these guys down here to be down here at least. So we're going to let them scramble and get settled in. You know, it's a new area, vernal pool around here, so we got to put the gray tree frogs away now. Oh, this guy's a quick one. Come on. Come on. Beautiful frog. Oh, you're beautiful. Go ahead, buddy. Beautiful colorings on you. Oh, I'm sorry. Good. Good. You don't like that side? You gotta watch the toads here, buddy. How about in here? What are you doing? Do you not like it over here? Oh. Let's try somebody else. Right. They don't want to leave me now. Well, come on guys. We will take you to another bush then. Okay. How about this, Mr. Frog? Is this better? Oh, it might be better. Go on. Oh, he missed. Do you want to go home with me? What do you think? You're the only one that seems to care about me. It's up to you. You want to go with me? Yeah? You want to go with me? Are you sure? This has to be him, guys. This is him. This will be the next great tree frog to carry on the legacy. This is him, guys. They're already starting to call. That's the guy that we brought here. Isn't that sweet? And you have this guy. He wants to come home with me. I just want to take this moment to thank Josh's Frogs for their sponsorship for 5 years of Frog Week. They are going to help Esperanza and all of my frogs and toads to eat well, to live well, and to have whatever it is that they need. I can't thank Josh's Frogs enough for all of their help and support for Frog Week, and also for providing quality feeders and all of the material that I need to help take care of Esperanza and all of those frogs and toads that I have. Thanks again, Josh's Frogs. Additional angle. As you can see all around us, it's a little bit disappointing how the water level has dropped. It's almost like a beach, if you will, because the water level was up way behind me and it's receded now completely down into a much, I guess, deeper spot where all this water is collecting. But it's disappointing because you can also see all the four-wheeler tracks through this, and that's one of the concerns for the animals is as they're laying their eggs, and as the tadpoles are here, is there a possibility that the tadpoles are getting run over by the four-wheelers, or is there, of course, with how much it's receded, could they have died because they ran out of water? Would they have known enough to go deeper? In some cases the answer is yes, in some cases the answer is no. So it's a little bit surprising, but that's why we came out to check this place out and kind of get a feel for what's happened since we've rescued Esperanza and we've done some things. So it's not surprising with how dry it's been, but it is just different when you see it, when you literally see how it's impacted the environment. That we're standing on land that was underwater by a couple inches just a month ago, and it's completely dry, and it's hard ground. I'd have a hard time if I took a shovel to this. So it's just surprising, but with the way things are, you have to kind of expect that. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that for the moment of flying this drone, and also talking about why we're out here, why the GoPro, why the drone, to get a perspective of how are we going to be able to help Esperanza's population, how are we going to be able to help these animals, and even the toads and the spring peepers and everybody up here. And so it could look hopeless, or it could look not optimistic, but that's why you have to come out here and you have to evaluate all these different properties and all these different places where these animals that we want to conserve live. So we're going to just fly the drone around a little bit more. Maria will probably get more shots with the GoPro, but just to give you more perspective of what's happened since the peak of the gray tree frog breeding season out here. You can hear behind me the population of eastern gray tree frogs. We're out here again. GoPro's almost out of storage because I've been filming so much in this location. It's great that we've been able to pinpoint this population to a very few ponds. Even though they're widespread throughout this region, it's really cool that we're seeing them in these ponds, because the more they're breeding in standing water, the more likely their offspring are going to survive, and we're going to hear more of these guys. So this is the most successful population. There are some vernal pool breeders, they might have already dried up. That's how bad we've had a drought. But we got a toad calling right behind me. So this is going to be a lively night. To put it into perspective, this drying vernal pool would have been the pool that Esperanza and those 4 gray tree frogs would have been calling from and reproducing that night that I rescued him, away from the path of those trucks. The sad reason why I took Esperanza outside of rescuing him from the trucks is my beloved Dante actually passed away, and so did Meredith. This has been one of the most traumatic situations that I've had to deal with in a long time. As you can see here, the close bond that I had with Dante, that he would actually come up and climb on top of me after I fed him. This is one of the most precious moments I've ever had with an animal, and it truly does break my heart to see all of the scenes and clips that I got filming Dante and Meredith and Melania, and they were known as the Gray Army in the Woods and Forests Media YouTube channel. However, I'm sorry to report that only Melania stands tall right now. There was a severe situation with a water crisis that we had, the reverse osmosis system not working right, and it led to the demise of some of these frogs because they became septic. It's one of the worst things that's happened, and this was the last song that I used whenever I made a Gray Tree Frog episode. So to honor them, I chose this as the song and the theme song for Frog Week 2023, and I made the decision to honor them with the logo, all of those animals who passed away from that water crisis. As you can see them up top. We have so much more Frog Week to cover, and I can't wait to share it with you, but please like and subscribe and share for more content. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.